The excavations of the Palace of St. Andrews in the Luxor Temple reveal new secrets. The discovery of an integrated residential city, 2 bathroom towers, tools and utensils. The Supreme Secretary of Antiquities. The new discovery shows workshops for melting coins dating back to the 2nd and 3rd centuries. Dr. Mostafa Waziri, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, announced today, Tuesday, the discovery of a new discovery made by pure Egyptian hands and below the area where the famous Palace of St. Andrews was removed in the Luxor Temple, where an integrated residential city, 2 bath towers, pottery that was used by the ancient Egyptians, workshops, tools and utensils were uncovered. It goes back to different ages. Excavations of the Palace of St. Andrews in the Luxor Temple reveal new secrets. The discovery of an integrated residential city, 2 bathroom towers, tools and utensils. The Supreme Secretary of Antiquities. The new discovery shows workshops for melting coins dating back to the 2nd and 3rd centuries. About a new discovery made by pure Egyptian hands and below the area where the famous Palace of St. Andrews was removed, in the Luxor Temple, where an integrated residential city, 2 bath towers, pottery used by the ancient Egyptians, workshops, tools and utensils dating back to different eras were revealed. Dr. Mostafa Waziri, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, confirmed that the excavation season began in the region on the 1st of September 2020, as the Egyptian Archaeological Mission, operating in the Luxor Temple, under his leadership, succeeded in reaching a number of new archaeological discoveries dating back to different historical eras, as an integrated residential city appeared today. And 2 bathroom towers, as well as metal smelting workshops, tools and utensils dating back to the 2nd and 3rd centuries including pottery bottles and grinding tools, along with a quantity of copper coins dating back to the Roman period, which heralds a distinguished excavation season inside the oldest residential city on the eastern mainland in Luxor Governorate. And the Supreme Secretary of Antiquities explained that among the most prominent previous discoveries in the region was the discovery of an old house, a furnace for melting metals, a rare plate, and a number of rare utensils and pieces in pure Egyptian hands, and below the area where the famous Palace of St. Andrews was removed in the Luxor Temple, announced Dr. Mostafa Waziri, Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, Thursday, about the success of the Egyptian Archaeological Mission operating in the Luxor Temple under his leadership, in reaching a number of new archaeological discoveries dating back to different historical eras, most notably an old house, a furnace for melting metals, a rare plate, and a number of rare utensils and pieces, and the discovery is a furnace with a depth of 4 meters, for the first time. Once in Upper Egypt, a furnace appeared in this scene, used in smelting metals, as it was expected that excavations in that region would yield new surprises, dating back to Roman times, because the region had not been excavated before. As for the discovered house, Waziri says that parts of a 2-story house with stairs and clear walls dating back to the Roman era appeared, and excavations are continuing by conducting consolidation operations to reach the rooms of the house below the excavation area in Luxor Temple, the place of Yassi Palace, and there, excavations will continue during the next month to yield new surprises. In that place, Dr. Mustafa Waziri explained that, during the excavations, a rare stela was also discovered on which King Thutmose IV and King Amenhotep II were inscribed. On utensils for offering offerings and a painting from the Ptolemaic period belonging to King Ptolemy III approximately, a bowl of granite and a large amount of wheat and lentils, as well as a table for offerings was revealed that was reused as it was the entrance to a cabin or a temple, and part of it remains that was made as a basin in which offerings are placed inside of milk or water. The Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities explained that the men of Luxor Temple made a new surprise while sorting the blocks on the terraces in the temple in the western side, where a block was found for the foot of the seated statue of King Ramses II, and it was restored and installed in its location, which is an important addition to the statue. Waziri emphasized that the men of the Luxor Temple are sorting all the pieces scattered on the terraces to return them to their original places inside the temple again, under their leadership of Ahmed Arabi, the General Director of the Luxor Temple, Ahmed Badr, the director of the temple, and the Egyptian restoration men in the temple, thanking them very much for that great effort in region. Andrews Bishara Pasha was a deputy for Luxor in the National Assembly until the date of his death in 1935. He was also one of the wealthy in Egypt. His father endowed 100 acres to serve the mosques and churches of Luxor equally, and he endowed 10 acres to serve the industrial school because he believed that industry and crafts constitute the future for the youth of Luxor. He built the Coptic school, which is still standing, and built the Al-Makkosh Mosque, Al-Madamud Mosque, the Muslim Youth Association, and many charitable projects. The Andros Pasha family in Luxor is considered one of the richest families of long time, as Tawfiq Pasha Andros is one of the men of the Egyptian national movement during the 1919 revolution and the deputy of Luxor for 3 sessions in the National Assembly, and Luxor did not elect another deputy during that period, and one of the close friends of the late leader Saad Saglul Pasha, who visited him in his palace. The beginning of the excavation work at the site of the demolition and removal of the historic Andros Palace in the Nile Corniche in Luxor, after a decision by the Committee of Fallen Facilities in Luxor Governorate to remove the palace due to its exposure to damage as a result of excavations and excavations below it during the last period, where Dr. in the story of the removal and demolition of the historic Palace of Andros Pasha in the Corniche of the Nile, stressing that once the complete removal and demolition of the palace is complete, excavation work will begin, as there are Roman evidence beneath it and it will be fully revealed during the coming period. Below the historical palace of Andros Pasha, there are remains and clear evidence of the Roman temple, behind the palace, which is currently being removed by a decision of the Ramshackle Facilities Committee in Luxor Governorate, as it endangers the lives of citizens, explaining that the Roman temple will be dealt with and revealed after the end of the removal completely. The Secretary-General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities confirmed that there are clear evidences from behind the Andros Pasha Palace in the vicinity of the Luxor Temple, and it is completely clear from the back of the presence of a Roman temple, stressing that after the end of the demolition of the palace, a team of archaeologists, men and excavation workers will be formed with pure Egyptian hands to start excavation work to uncover about that Roman temple and showing the remains